they must have got a second shipment in, because I've never seen that many Steelbooks at a Best Buy in my life. Hi guys, Kidju64 here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top 10 Steelbooks. These are the top 10 Steelbooks that I own. I haven't actually recently counted them, but I know that I own over 50 Steelbooks, and that continues to grow. I've already done a Steelbook collection video. I've added more to the collection since that video. I may do an update to that video at a later date once I get a few more, but for right now, what I actually wanted to do was just pick my top 10 Steelbooks and share those with you guys. This is based on the art on it, the design of it, and all that good stuff. So these are not necessarily representative of the movies themselves, just the Steelbook designs. Also, before we get started, I do want to say that there is a good chance that the lighting will adjust throughout this video, so do not be alarmed. It's literally just my lights reflecting off the Steelbooks back onto the camera, and it messes with the lighting, and I don't know how to fix it because I'm an idiot, I guess. But with that out of the way, let me go ahead and start with Power Rangers. Yes, this was actually a Target exclusive, which, you know, Target does not have that many exclusive Steelbooks, believe it or not. Normally, especially now, all the Steelbooks are coming out like Best Buy Steelbooks. So I went to a couple Targets to try and find this one. This was the last one that they had on the shelf. I just liked the design of it. I liked the Power Rangers movie. I think it could have been better, but I think it could have been a lot worse too. So you know, you gotta take it where you can get it anymore. But I just like the design. I like the colors on it. My only real problem with this Steelbook is that it's got the glossy finish. Anybody who collects Steelbooks knows there's kinds of different varieties of Steelbooks. There's matte and glossy finishes. Whenever you have the glossy finish, it's very prone to fingerprints, and it's very irritating, like extremely irritating, because no matter what you do, you can't get rid of them unless you constantly are cleaning them and you never touch them, I guess. But really, it's like touching a camera lens. Like getting them clean is next to impossible. So the only thing I don't like about this Steelbook, but I really like the design. They're on the back, just the lightning bolt, you know, pretty basic, but you know, you will notice that a lot with a lot of these Steelbooks is that the backs, nobody puts work into the back of the Steelbook because everybody's looking at the front of the Steelbook. So that's Power Rangers. My next pick is going to be, and these are in no particular order, by the way. These are just my top 10. I'm not counting down any. These are just my top 10 that I pulled off the shelf that I personally like. There was a couple extra ones I wish I could have fit in here, but I was like, no, we'll narrow it down to the top 10 and just go with that. And that is Iron Giant. Yes, I love the design of this. I love the movie too. By the way, one of the best animated movies of all time, in my opinion. This also has a glossy finish, but you know, I like the design of it. I actually thought about getting a poster, this as a poster design, but there's multiple Iron Giant posters that actually look really cool. There's a lot of cool artists that have done interpretations of Iron Giant that I enjoy. But yeah, I just like the basicness of this. I actually got this at an FYE. I don't know if this was an FYE exclusive Steelbook or not, but I got it on FYE, and I got a pretty good deal on it. I already owned the Blu-ray, but I was like, you know what? That Steelbook's too good to pass up, and I'm glad I got it because obviously it's on this list, so I enjoy it. It's in my top 10. The back is just has the little screw there from the end of the movie. So again, not too in depth, but I actually like that. I actually like how simplistic that is. So yeah, Iron Giant, that's my number 2 Steelbook. Now this is another instance in which the movie's not, I didn't really like the movie all that much, but Glass. I'm going to actually put this on a picture down here because every time I've shown this is the 4th time me trying to show this, and it completely messes with the lighting and focus on the camera. So I'll put a picture of it over here. So, I mean, I love the design of this Steelbook. It's got art from Alex Ross, who is one of my favorite comic book artists. I've got posters from Alex Ross. I've got signed posters from Alex Ross. I've got signed art from Alex Ross. I have comic books with covers from Alex Ross. I've gotten comic books just because he's done the cover. I just like his style. I like how realistic it looks, and I thought it was so cool that he's actually done it. He actually did a Steelbook. I don't know if he's done any other Steelbooks, but I thought it was really cool that they got a real comic book artist to do the cover for Glass. And it's a wraparound, so both sides look really great. Again, I'll show both sides over here. Just imagine I'm holding it up while I'm talking about it. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the movie, but I really like the Steelbook. I'll try and show it one more time. We'll see if the lighting messes up. Boom. Yep. There it is. Next up is something that keen viewers of my channel may notice, is that back behind me, it have Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3. Well, here's Toy Story 1. Yes, if out of the three, this is obviously the best one. I love the colors on it. I love the color blue on it. I love the crane coming down. I think that it's, I obviously like the minimalist style of all three of those Steelbooks. These were Best Buy exclusives, and I think they bought too many of them. I know I went and got them, you know, on release day, and you know, they must have got a second shipment in, because I've never seen that many Steelbooks at a Best Buy in my life. But either way, doesn't matter. I like this Steelbook. The back has a ball on it, so very simple. And but I really like the spine because it's got the green on the spine, so it's got a little bit of a different color for the spine. So really like the Toy Story, and obviously the movie's great too. So that's always a plus. Now this is a controversial movie because it's directed by one Rian Johnson, the destroyer of Star Wars. Well, you know, I don't think it's fair to blame the destruction of Star Wars squarely on Rian Johnson's shoulders, but he's definitely a contributing factor. But before he did that, he did a movie that had me excited for him to bring on Star Wars, which was Looper. Yeah, he directed Looper. Now, Looper, I was a real big fan of when it came out, but I've only watched it once since then, so I've seen it twice. And, you know, I got this cover through eBay, and I believe it was a Canadian release, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. But the main reason I got it was because it's a Mondo cover. Mondo they do lots of posters, and I really like their style. Well, most of the time I like their style. I think they go overboard sometimes. But this one in particular, I obviously love. It's got the slip on it, which is really cool. Yeah, man, just it looks so cool. So cool. Obviously, and then on the back, it's just got Bruce Willis. So, you know, you take that off, just got Bruce Willis down there, you know, whenever he comes back through time. So, yeah, I really like that. I really like that Steelbook. Next up, we're going to go with another controversial pick, as far as the movie's concerned. I don't think it's controversial, but you know, a lot of people seem to hate this these days. Super 8. I like Super 8. I liked it when it came out. I've liked it since then. Yes, it's just like a lot of other movies. Yes, it's just like a callback to like E.T., Close Encounters. It's got Cloverfield in there and Goonies and whatnot. I mean, and when you watch Stranger Things, like when I watched the first season of Stranger Things, I was like, that's Super 8, because guess what? A lot of things are derivative of other things, especially anything that's come out in the last decade. You know, Hollywood doesn't like to take chances on anything new anymore, and they're always afraid to let creatives do anything creative. But regardless, not going off on that tangent, I really like this Steelbook. This was actually one of the first Steelbooks that I ever got. This part is raised, which you probably can't see that well, but it's got a nice shine to it. It's very reflective, which is cool. Even the back is cool. Like, that could be the cover in and of itself. So if you're wondering what I'm looking off to the side for, I've got an external monitor now, so I can actually see if the lighting's messing up. So, but the one thing that is strange about this Steelbook is it bends in the middle, which is extremely strange. But either way, I mean, this is definitely one of my favorite Steelbooks. I love the design of it. I keep it up on a magnet just so I can see the front end. I haven't watched the movie in a while, but I would actually like to go revisit it. And next up, we're going to go with Total Recall. Yes, this was the most recent Steelbook in the collection. I think came out 2 months ago. I think about 2 months ago. I know it came out this year. This is the 4K. There was a remake of Total Recall, but obviously that was nowhere near as good, even though that one did have Walter White in it. The first one's still the best. They don't make movies like this anymore. Arnold Schwarzenegger's great in it. So over the top. I love it. But really what I like about the Steelbook is the design is great and the title comes off. So there you go. Look. You got a nice clean picture that you can display on its own, and then you have the titles which you can put on, if I can get it on, and there you go. That's just great. I love whenever they put that where the slip and the design of the Steelbook work together like that. Again, the back is extremely boring. It's literally just the Mars landscape. But I really like the front of it. I like the design of this. It looks like it's like Drew Struzan, who's one of my favorite movie poster designers. And yeah, Total Recall. I love it. And next up is my only comic book Steelbook. Now, I own a few comic book Steelbooks, but this was the only one that I picked to be in my top 10 because I do think it's the best, and that is Spider-Man Far From Home. I love the Steelbook. It just has a great design to it. There's no titles on it. It's just the picture. It even has a cool back. Like, I mean, this is like one of the best Steelbooks that Marvel's put out by far. And I do have the plastic case on it. Again, sorry, I'm not looking at you guys. I'm looking at the monitor again just to make sure that the thing's not dropping out of focus. Because this is the second time I've actually filmed this video. The first one was unusable. So, but this one I actually do have the plastic cases. Now, I talked about this in my Steelbook display video, which I did a few months back, that I didn't know how I felt about them. I actually do like them. I've grown to like them more since I've done that Steelbook display video. Now, I probably might get some more, but they obviously are very one thing I like about them is that, like I said, when you have the glossy finish and you get fingerprints on them, this protects from the fingerprints. So I really do like this. As long as I still haven't figured out how to, the magnets that I use are not strong enough for it to display with the protective cases on. Now, there's probably some more, some stronger magnets I could probably get. So if anybody just, displayed them or tested that out or whatever, and has stronger magnets that they put up and then it'll work through the protective cases, I would like to know. And next up is, now this is number 9. This is the final 2 now. Again, no particular order. But The Matrix. I love this Steelbook. It's very simple. I love the design of it. It shows. It evokes the movie, but it's not like a big sticking point in the movie. Just, a human battery. There you go. I just like the design of it. I think it's cool art. The back's kind of boring, as is the case with pretty much all of the rest of them. But I really like The Matrix. And I really like The Matrix movie. I'm not a big fan of the sequels. And I have zero interest in The Matrix 4 that's coming out. Like, I didn't even like the third one, so why would I like the fourth one after waiting a decade, or however long it's been? I don't care. But the first Matrix is still a good movie. I still enjoy it, yeah. So this is number one, guys. Can you hear the music? Can you hear it? Here it is. It's Jumanji. Yes, this was a Best Buy exclusive. I tried to find this. When it first came out, I couldn't find it, and it took a few months, but I finally came across it when Best Buy got another shipment in. And yes, this is... I don't know if I have a top, like my favorite one, but this one's pretty close. I like how it's just the board game. It's raised, so it's got a little bit of a dimension to it, which is nice. It looks like the board game. Right. It's got the glossy finish, but it's not so prone to fingerprints, at least that I've really noticed. The back is the most boring of all of them, but that's fine. It's forgivable because it's supposed to look like the board game, and I think it does that very well. I love it. I keep it displayed back there. I replaced it with the Martian temporarily. But Jumanji, yes, I like that Steelbook. That's a great Steelbook. So those are my top 10 Steelbooks. This was a pretty fun video to do. I just kind of had the idea whenever I was looking at my old Steelbook videos. I was like, you know what, I should just do a top 10. And then I pulled them all off the shelf and figured out what was my top 10. So I thought that'd be a fun video to do. So I really enjoy talking about this. As always, I like talking about physical media, especially when I pull anything off the shelf and talk with you guys. I've got some ideas for some other physical media stuff that I'd like to do. So stay tuned for that. I've been pretty consistent so far with releasing stuff on Tuesdays. My physical media videos, I will always try to release on Tuesday. My extra videos, whatever those may be, will probably be on different days. I recently did a Mighty Ducks video, and I kind of like how that turned out. But anyway, I just want to thank everyone for checking out this video. Thank you, subscribers, because you guys are awesome. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Geetrue64, and I'll always tell you the truth.